Oh, hey everybody. We'll start soon. Let me just turn my fan off. Hopefully the background noise isn't too bad. If it is bad, then yeah, that's too bad. Let's see here. Let me just make sure the settings are okay. So I will be playing this without assassinations and without political capital on, because political capital is just, I don't know, it kind of defeats the entire purpose of this game. What's political honeymoon? Oh, it doesn't matter because I'm not playing with political capital anyways. uh, Link education with, okay, and what's new game? Okay, I'll just give it another couple minutes and then we'll start. Let's see here. Okay, so we're at about 3 minutes. Hey guys, I hope you're having a good Wednesday. We're going to be making America great again. Probably kind of a lame title, but it's what I could come up with. I've been playing around with this game and I think I actually largely know how to do it. So we're going to be going like full third position today. So this should be fun. Of the countries you can play as, America is by far the easiest playable country in the game, at least for the kind of policies I want to implement. Because America has the highest starting patriots. Why is my mouse not showing up on? What a piece of garbage. Why did that fuck. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this apparently has this shitty bug where if you alt tab out and then alt tab back in, your mouse disappears. Where the fuck did my mouse go? Why is it not showing up on screen? Well, this is peak boomer hours. Or maybe it's more the people who developed this game were fucking boomers. Like, why is my mouse disappearing? Okay, let's see here. Wow, this is... What a joke. Okay, so let's see here. America. I can't accept... Like, oh, fuck. Why is it not allowing... I just don't get why it's... I can't see my mouse. I was playing this game earlier and I didn't have this problem. Okay, there we go. No. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up tech support. Okay, so apparently this is a known problem, which is shitty because I just did this like this morning. Actually, I was playing this like half an hour before this started, so I have to try to figure out how to turn off full screen. I don't know how that's even like possible. Wow. What a shitload of fuck. Okay, let's see here. Okay, you're not allowed to turn off full screen. Full screen will not allow you to turn itself off. Okay, maybe I'll try running this in like compatibility mode for an older version of Windows. This is peak boomer hours right here. Disable full screen optimizations. Let's see if that does anything. Wow. Is it a refresh rate problem? Okay. Disable DPI aware. Is that what I need to do? Let's see if that does anything. Okay, apparently that's what I had to turn off. Okay, turn off full screen. And I have to shrink this. Okay. Okay, there we go. That was fucking lame. Okay. Yeah, I'll make it the entire screen. The only problem is if it's the entire screen, then the chat box gets covered up. So, but I guess it is what it is. Let me see. All right. So let me see if I can get this to be. I guess it just doesn't do the proper thing in this. Okay, hopefully that's okay. Maybe I'll try. It just looks shitty. Okay, hopefully that's fine. All right, let's start this. So we're going to start off with new game, United States of America. And I'm going to be called the American Restoration Party. Opposition party will be the Republican Party. Yep, red. And the other one will be the Democratic Party. And that will be blue. Okay, so let's see here. Let me know if the audio balance and everything is okay, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to make my color fashy, so black. So one of the kind of obnoxious things about this game is you can't set the ideology of the opposition parties. I don't know if the opposition parties just automatically appeal to the voters you're not appealing to. It's really kind of odd, but I guess it's kind of an it is what it is type situation, so no use really complaining about it. Okay, so I'm going to leave all this normal and start. Okay, congratulations on your election victory. Begin term of office. So I initially found this game extremely difficult, and then I figured out that you just have to switch over to groups and have groups in descending order. Maybe let's see. Maybe I'll turn on sound effects a little. There we go. Let me make sure sound is on. Yep. Okay. So America is a good country to play as if you have kind of similar political views to me. because religious and conservative start pretty high. Whereas, and then patriot is like okay. So it's not particularly bad. So this is going to be kind of a mixture of what I would actually do and me gaming the system. So here's going to be me gaming the system. For whatever reason, in the current version, lowering pensions does not have much of an impact on happiness. So it's something you can very easily cut. So some of the more radical stuff I'm going to have to hold off on till the second term. But I'm immediately going to, okay, so diplomatic service. Some of these are just kind of, they have a lot of impact, but they don't really cost very much. Things like having a tourism campaign. Better foreign relations is always good, especially given all the other stuff I'm going to be doing soon enough. Let's see here. I want to introduce the national anthem at the start of television news. I think that's a good idea. I'm going to introduce publicly funded religious broadcasts. That also sounds like a good idea to me. Law and order, we're going to introduce flags on street corners. Let's see here. Public services. National anthem in schools. I don't really get, like, do people not sing the national anthem in American schools? Because we do in Canadian schools, so I don't really get it, but okay. Implement national anthem in schools. Let's see here. What else do we have that I can do? Welfare, foreign policy. I'll hold off on maybe national service for now. Cyberbullying awareness campaign. Maybe later. Okay, so I think those are most of the... Let's see here. I can't do that quite yet. I don't quite have the political capital. Well, you can implement microchips in this game. That sounds like fun. That's not the mark of the beast at all. Okay. I think I'll implement school prayer. I'll keep it optional for now, though. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is repeal gay marriage. That is gone. And repeal, where is it again? Gender transition. Publicly funded gender transition. Okay, those two have been repealed. I'm also going to cut military spending because you start off with military spending at the maximum. Now, one of the problems with playing as the United States is your debt is so massive, there realistically isn't much you can do to try to stop to deal with it. So let's see here. We're going to put border controls up to maximum. Okay, tourism campaign. Immigration to minimum. We'll leave foreign aid for the moment. Citizenship tests up to maximum. Okay. All right. I'll deal with some more social policies in a bit. I'm just going to start implementing my agenda. Let's see here. Art subsidies. Leave that for the moment. Okay. So we're going to begin. So my energy policy. So basically what I try to do when I play this is I normally cut welfare spending, but I don't really reduce taxes or overall government spending. The spending's redirected into technological and environmental initiatives. The idea being to create employment as opposed to create employment instead of wow, I'm retarded today. other stuff. Okay, so nuclear power is getting expanded. I'm going to expand recycling. Space program we're going to leave as is at the moment. Minimum wage we're going to leave. Honestly, I think 65 is too low for retirement age, so that's going to be raised up to 67 at the moment. Okay, pollution controls we'll leave for the moment. Hey, Metaphysic. Good to see you, man. Okay. National Business Council. The establishment of a National Business Council gives a strong voice to business interests and ensures that the needs of business, both big and small, are taken into account. The council serves as a way to promote capitalism and enterprise and to get across the message that the corporate world has much to offer, creates employment and opportunity. I agree with that because I'm basically an integralist and business is part of the nation, so it needs to be incorporated. Now, compulsory school sports are kind of cringe, but I'm playing as America, and America is like, or fat asses. So we just have to force the kids to play sports ball or something else. Although under Argent's like LARP regime, they'd probably be able to do like archery or guns or swords or HEMA. Mandatory. Okay, so my LARP is going to be this is HEMA in schools, historical martial arts. Let's see here, compulsory school sports. So I'm going to max fund that, which will piss off young people, but young people can't vote, so who cares about them? Let's see here. Healthy eating campaign, which is once again kind of gay, and anything that increase plant-based diets is kind of gay, but Americans are fat fucks, so you have to do it. Stamp out racism week. 1 week of the year will be dedicated to embrace cultural and racial diversity, aiming to reduce tension. This includes specials in the media, small food markets with delicacies from around the world, community meetings, celebrations, and friendly competitions. It's always food. I love how diversity just means food. Social Justice Foundation. This policy will establish a foundation that deals with the worries and problems of the poor and underrepresented in our country. It will take away some of the worries, so that increases innate liberalism. Keep the country tidy campaign, a campaign in popular media designed to make people feel guilty about littering. No matter how much a fine on littering may be, this only works if people are being seen. But a guilty conscience will also work when someone is alone, thus making it far more effective in the long term. Once again, I agree with stuff like that. It's kind of been the environmentalists have ruined it, but I really hate littering, and I hate because it's just such a shitty thing to do. In most Western countries, you have garbage cans all over the place. Just fucking throw it out. Don't damage the environment. Let's see here. I'm going to impose a diverted profits tax. So, a tax levied on estimates regarding large companies' profits earned in this country, regardless of their actual reporting. This is used to prevent multinational companies from claiming that all of the profits they earn are somehow only generated in a tax haven that doesn't have corporate taxes by using cunning accounting trickery. The tax is mostly designed as an incentive to push such companies to play by the spirit as well as the letter of the law. Okay. So we're going to implement that tax to prevent them recording all their stuff in the Cayman Islands. Compulsory food labeling. There's plenty of food out there that is not healthy, but companies have found clever ways to obscure that by making it look extra tasty or putting the ingredient list in smallest print. This is now over with compulsory food labeling. All foods must now display all the ingredients and additives in it, making it easier for people to choose the food they want to eat while remaining healthy. I mean, on a basic capitalist level, I don't think there's anything wrong with people wanting to know what it is that they're buying. Um, I don't really see any kind of issue with that. Besides that, you just have obesity as a massive problem in the Western world, and dramatic actions need to be taken. Okay, let's see here. Human cloning. We're going to introduce reforestation as a measure to combat CO2. Tree planting is relatively uncontroversial. However, some campaigners suggest this is treating the symptom, not the cause, and that CO2 should be reduced at the source, not captured otherwise. So that reduces CO2 emissions, respiratory disease, pollution, and unemployment, and it increases environmental health and pleases environmentalists. So that's good. I get kind of a weird coalition together once I'm done this. Let's see here. We're going to do telecommuting initiative. Telecommuting or working from home is seen as desirable because it reduces pressure on the transportation infrastructure and can be an improvement to people's quality of life. It is also welcomed by parents. This policy offers tax incentives to companies to support this option. So that makes commuters happy, that decreases commuters, and that makes parents, telecoms, and trade unions happy. Okay, so we're going to max fund that. Let's see, what else do we have? Some of these things will be implemented later once the long-term results of some of my other stuff has come about. They have a bit more wiggle room. Let's see. Law and order. I'm gonna fund a electric car initiative. Now the problem when I'm playing this is some of this is kind of gamey. In that I don't know if this stuff would really work in real life because there is a battery problem and a rare earth material problem. But this will decrease oil demand and transition people towards using electric cars. So we'll do that for now. Let me see here. Internet tax. Hybrid car initiative. Hybrid cars are less damaging to the environment because at slower speeds they use electrical engines that produce no CO2. They also get higher fuel efficiency, thus reducing the demand for oil. The downside is they are very expensive, but tax incentives. Okay, sure. Once again, my problem with a lot of these policies is, so just once again, my kind of approach to this is I have made cuts to welfare and I haven't really decreased taxation, but the money I cut from welfare is going to technological, environmental, and other things that I think would would create jobs while improving the environment and stuff like that. Also, some of these are just low-hanging fruit, like this one, encouraging carpooling. It doesn't really cost anything and it doesn't displease anyone, so you might as well go ahead and do it. Let me just see. Let me look and see if there's any other existing policies I want to mess with. For the moment. Oh, there we go. National Armed Forces Week. I'm going to increase science funding substantially. And let's see. I'm just going to hit next turn and we'll see how that goes. I was the future once, David Cameron. Okay, so people smuggling. A large number of people have been caught entering our country hidden inside cargo containers in an organized attempt at people smuggling. The criminals who masterminded the scheme have been arrested, but there is debate as to what to do with the people who are now on our shores. Should they be sent back to their country of origin? Deport them. So that reduces support among ethnic minorities, but conservatives, patriots like that, and I'm seen as a strong leader. So my poll results are really bad, but that's fine for the moment. There's a minor budget deficit of $16 billion. That doesn't really matter. I'm going to take a look at my cabinet now. So foreign policy. Let's see. Loyalty. Sympathies, religious, poor. Okay, good. Those are two groups I pander to. Environmentalist, farmers. Good. Middle income, self-employed. Let's see if there's someone who's religious or patriot. There we go. Self-employed conservatives. Okay. Public services, poor liberal, fire. Let's see. Liberal religious, that is cursed. Okay. Law and order. Liberal patriots. I want. Okay, youth patriot is good. Religious environmentalist. Okay, that's good. All right. So the religious portion of the population should be gradually increasing because I implemented public religious broadcasts. I'm going to increase funding for religious schooling, although that'll probably be a long-term thing. All right, let's see here. Okay, we're going to go to next turn. Liberal democratic states can't remain globally competitive. Viktor Orban. Okay, cabinet report. The Evangelical Alliance are holding town hall meetings to express their anger at our current government. I don't get why the Evangelical Alliance of all people would be angry at me. I mean, I'm basically doing everything else that they could want. Thanks for pointing that out, Indro. I need to implement... Where's rare earth mining? Because I need to start doing that, even if it's dangerous to the environment. Let's see. Eco-home regulations. I'm just going to implement those. Let's see here. Mandatory microgeneration. One of the biggest cost factors in our everyday lives these days is electricity and heat. By making mandatory microgeneration mandatory, every citizen has the task of generating at least part of his or her electricity. The problem with that is it doesn't say here that you're providing them with money. Okay, so we're going to start with rare earth materials. So I don't really have the money for it at the moment, but in the long term, this will help to prevent some of this stuff from happening. Let's see, what's that? Diverted profits tags. Oh, okay, I actually ran a surplus last turn. Okay. All right. Child labor law. Too many of our younger citizens are leaving school early in order to take up low-paying jobs. Some are even skipping school to work full-time when they should be learning. The law is currently very weak with regards to preventing companies from employing under-16s in full-time positions. The proposed law would make it a criminal offense to knowingly employ someone under 16 for more than 5 hours a week. There are good arguments on both sides, so let's compromise and just tighten the law slightly so children can work no more than 10 hours a week. Yeah, that seems fine to me. All right, let's see here. how much does the inheritance tax raise? Oh, okay, let me try something. Okay, guys, let me know if I'm coming through okay. Um, I tried changing a couple settings. So inheritance tax, this is what's charged on when on your inheritance when a parent or someone else dies. So I'm going to cancel that because I'm ideologically against it. One of the main purposes of um, one of the main purposes of earning money and saving money is so that you can afford to leave money to your children. I really hate that it's like tax at all. Let me see, what are property taxes at? I might increase sales taxes as a temporary measure. Because I am kind of a tax and spend liberal at the moment, so I need to do something to afford all this new spending. Illegal immigrant crisis. Illegal immigration has fallen and the situation now appears to be under control for now. Okay, major donor abandons party. We'd only get 6% of the vote. Okay, let's see here. So I'm going to have to start trying to please people if I'm going to hope to win the next election. So patriots love me. Religious people like me. Let's see here. Abortion law. I'm going to see. I'm at the middle ground at the moment. I'm going to go to life threatened, which I think is fine. Technological colleges. I'm going to boost funding to that. I'm always happy to invest in education and technology research. Let's see here. Press freedom, intelligence services. Oh, prison overcrowding. Yeah, for some reason, America starts off with really, really low prison funding. So I'm going to dramatically increase prison funding. Okay. Let's see here. What else do we have? Armed police. Firearm laws are okay as is. Prison regime, that's fine. Witness protection program, I'll just raise that up to maximum. I need to leave high intelligence services because China comes in. I don't really get what like community policing even is, but I'll go with that. I think it's some sort of like cooperating with the local population type thing. The police trying to work with them. Okay, so we're improving prisons. I'll leave jury trial. This protection program. Water cannons. Is there even really a need to leave them in place for the moment? I'm just going to cancel this because it's money and it doesn't seem to be have any positive impact for me. Let's see here. Road construction. Why are motorists angry at me? Gridlock, biofuel subsidies. Car tax. Yeah, but the car tax raises a lot of money. Let me see. What are capitalists angry about? Oh, the child benefit. Okay, I'll cut child benefit. Let's see here. I will increase healthcare funding to universal catastrophic. Let me see here. I'm just seeing if there's some low-hanging fruit that I can do to try to get some people on my side. Clean fuel subsidy. I think clean fuel is kind of a snake oil thing, but I need to appease some people in preparation for the next election, so we'll just go with that for the moment. Let's see, I can introduce a welfare fraud department. When government gives so much money out in welfare payments, it's essential that the money is correctly targeted and not exploited by people making spurious claims. A dedicated fraud department will detect false claimants, recover lost money, and reassure middle-income taxpayers that their taxes are being spent wisely. Okay. Well, middle-income people are a large portion of the electorate, and poor people are not. Besides, poor people like me anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Next turn. Gridlock has now eased. Some of our religious citizens left our country to fight in a religious war overseas, a war that in many ways threatens our interests and security, aka Israel's interests and security. The fighting has now ended, and the fighters have expressed regret for their actions and a desire to return home. So are these like Christians who went to fight ISIS or went to fight on Armenia's side? Because I'd be okay with that. But if they're ISIS members, then fuck them. They aren't allowed to come back. I like how liberals are pissed off about that. The government has a small surplus. So let's see here. So my economy stayed pretty steady since I started implementing various policies. Debt is holding at 100%. The problem is America's debt is so high that there's realistically nothing really that can be done to try to resolve that issue. Let's see here. Capitalists. Selective schooling. The government has to take a view whether it's best that all students be educated together in the same classroom, regardless of ability, or if it's desirable to place the most talented students in their own class, which teach faster, or maybe even have dedicated schools. Okay, I'm going to support selection. Compulsory work for the unemployed, rent controls. Antibiotics ban, labor bank. Maternity leave, oil drilling subsidies. I don't want to do that. Quantitative easing, a form of unconventional monetary policy where the bank effectively prints money and uses it to purchase bonds and stocks. This can spur immediate economic activity, but will also cause inflation and increase the wealth of people who own stocks. Okay, we're going to do that. It's kind of like the MIFO bills, or like some sort of national socialist economic policy. Plus, it'll help me out with support from capitalists, which is really who I need to help me win at the upcoming election. Let's see here. Some of these, like I said, I'm going to wait. Toll roads, satellite road pricing. Okay, this one is kind of gay, to be honest, but I'm just going to encourage bike subsidies. I am not a big fan of cycling, Then again, that's just because I'm Canadian and they try to push it on us here. But in Canada, it's like negative 10 degrees, at least where I live most of the year. So it's kind of retarded. Prison overcrowding, under control, blasphemy. A website has become popular which is highly critical of a religion followed by a cross section of society. Religious leaders have described the site as blasphemy and demanded it be taken down. There have been violent protests outside government offices demanding action. Oh, okay, so this is difficult. Because if it was like an anti-Christian website, I'd be okay with that. But if there was, it's clearly referencing Muslims, but I'm going to go down this because it gives me support among religious constituents. Okay, so on the political compass they use is so lame. So Donald Trump is more conservative, that is more authoritarian than Robert Mugabe and Lenin. Uh Jeremy Corbyn's down there for some reason. Ayn Rand's down there. Angela Merkel's apparently authoritarian, right? George W. Bush is up there for some reason. Let's see here, voting intentions, voter types. I think Patriots are one of the largest groups now. Parents, okay. Wait a minute, let me just pull that up again. I feel like. Okay, so according to this, Trump is as capitalist as Ayn Rand. What? How is that even possible? Ayn Rand's like a libertarian. Like Vladimir Putin. Okay, so Trump is more conservative and more authoritarian than Putin is? What? How? But okay. So Vladimir Putin is more capitalistic or is as capitalistic as Milton Friedman. Russia has nationalized oil and nationalized arms industry. I don't know. Russia's economy is kind of difficult to describe. I might have to do a video about it at some point. But yeah, Bill Clinton. Yeah, Bill Clinton's fairly close to the center. That doesn't bother me. But why is Lenin conservative? I mean, and here's part of why this is shit because it says uh, it says liberal conservative. It doesn't say authoritarian libertarian. I don't even get if we're going by this, then um wouldn't Ayn Rand be like further up here because she didn't like social equality? It's really weird in this game because like in this game conservatives like censorship and liberals don't, which is the opposite of real life. So but like according to this, Ayn Rand is a bigger social liberal and a bigger social justice warrior than Bernie Sanders. Really? Okay. Anyways, next turn. Journalist jailed. A foreign journalist reporting from the Capitol has been jailed for espionage. They protest their innocence, but were caught consorting with dissident rebels who wish to destabilize our regime. The international press has spoken out in support of this spy, criticizing the lack of human rights in our country. Fucking based. Let's see here. Cyber warfare. Okay. So yes, I have. So this is the unholy coalition that I've thrown together: nationalists, religious, environmentalists, state employees, and socialists. It sounds like a pretty third positionist government to me. I don't know. Conservatives don't really like me for the moment, but we will deal with that in good time. So now I'm starting to get a bit of popularity among the people. We are going to repeal the Gender Discrimination Act. Make discrimination against women illegal, as well as equal rights for women being written into the law. The step can be taken to correct historic inequality with positive action. Affirmative action favors the employment or appointment of women for roles across the spectrum of the labor market and political system. Denied. Okay, let's see here. What else do I want to deal with? Okay, the prison regime is fine. Private prisons. I don't know. Concerned. I don't really agree with private prisons, but okay, Race Discrimination Act prevents citizens from being discriminated against purely on the basis of race. Okay, that is going to be repealed. Oh, in this game, conservatives are against it. That's awesome. That's not how real life works at all. Okay, canceled. Tear gas. Where's drug enforcement? Narcotics. I'm going to re-illegalize cannabis. Okay, there we go. Cannabis is illegal for non-medical purposes again. Let's see here. Hospital overcrowding is no longer a problem. Appoint UN ambassador. I think I'm just gonna appoint the liberal because this is foreign relations. This isn't a national thing. Budget report. Global economy is doing well. Okay, it looks like I'm probably gonna win the next election. So it's kind of funny. I have by far the lowest number of donors, like almost like very like no donors, but I have a lot of public support. Let me see here. I can do media stunts if I want. Okay, eat breakfast at a typical builder's cafe. Okay, there we go. People think I'm more trustworthy, strong leader. Oh, be interviewed while jogging. Be filmed hunting with a rifle. There we go. People like that. Compassionate. Be filmed feeding a baby lamb. Okay, people think I'm compassionate now. Sweet. Okay, wishes to Persuade them to stay. They want to implement driverless car laws. Okay, that's good. I actually forgot I wanted to implement that anyways. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to implement driverless cars on their own lanes. So that'll improve support among capitalists, motorists, commuters, and improve technology. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I have a decent sized surplus. Um, do I still have capital gains tax? Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the capital gains tax because that helps out a lot to get in more foreign investment. I'm gonna allow school sponsorship. Oh, okay. Policy ideas. If an election were held today, we suspect we would get 71% of the vote. Demand from donor. New car subsidies. New cars are expensive, but will also cause less strain on the environment. While old and used cars may be cheaper, they also cause more pollution. Using new car subsidies will help people buy new cars that are safer and protect the environment while making motorists happy. Okay, that sounds good. That's a form of economic stimulus. Organic farming, robotics research grants, small business grants. I don't have the cash for that at the moment. Technology grants. Oh, trade council. Yeah, I should definitely open that up. I don't get why you wouldn't have people who are trying to find trade deals for your country. All right, we're going to implement national ID cards. This lowers crime and makes liberals and patriots happy. It also reduces liberalism. Okay, we're going to implement national ID cards. Capital controls. Ban coal. Green Electronics Initiative. The goal of the Green Electronics Initiative is to reduce electronic waste from cleaner mining operations to upcycling projects. Yep, I agree with that. We will fully fund that. High speed rail subsidies. Maybe I'll do that later. Yeah, I think I'll introduce. Maybe I'll introduce that after the election. Close airports completely. That's a nice. That's some nice LARP there. Let's see. Ban second home ownership. I could impose a junk food tax. I'm gonna impose a junk food tax. I think because Americans are fat asses, and I could use the extra money. Women like me aren't supposed to run for office. AOC. Fishing quotas. Okay, I'm going to agree to fishing quotas because I want to maintain the fishing stocks for future generations. Cabinet report. Election report. Okay. I still have a decent sized surplus, so I could afford to cut taxes somewhere. Um, I'll slightly cut personal income taxes. Uh, Maybe I'll slightly restore state pensions. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of state housing. Oh, genital mutilation ban. Okay, I forgot to implement that. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna do a complete ban on genital mutilation. Okay, that's good. Although that pisses off conservatives. Policy reversal. Environmental protests have ceased. Credit rating upgraded. A small budget surplus. So yeah, my debt to GDP ratio has not really changed almost at all. Um, I think my economy is growing, but yeah. Yeah, income tax you can't really cut. It's just too big a portion of your national revenue. Let's see here. I could increase green energy subsidies. I'll leave quantitative easing as is. You know what? I'll increase funding for the space program. Let's see here. Uncompetitive economy. Maybe I'll cut the payroll tax in a little bit. Pollution controls, reforestation, new car subsidies, skill shortage. I have a skill shortage because immigration's so bad. I have a big technological advantage. Okay, let's see here. What else do we have that I can do? Well, I could implement diversity quotas. Let's see, organic farming subsidies. Okay, people, is our organic farming subsidies base or cringe? I'm going to implement rural development grants because as technologically advanced, more and more citizens take jobs in our cities. There's a danger that poverty and unemployment will rise to unacceptable levels in the countryside. Rural development grants do distort the free market, but they support rural businesses to prevent poverty among farmers. Okay. Okay, we're going to pay for rural development. Okay, cabinet. Okay, Marissa Martin, currently working as your chancellor, is tired of serving your government and may wish to leave their position, possibly politics altogether. They want me to implement a cyberbullying awareness campaign, which is super gay, but might as well. Okay. Poll reports, situation imminent. We have a food crisis on our hands. crap. I guess because I implemented the junk food tax, it looks like people are getting really upset. This person wants to. Okay, so one of our donors, Ryan Brown, is insisting you placate them by implementing a specific policy, religious banknotes. If you refuse, they will abandon support. Okay, religious banknotes. This policy allows us to the use of religious phrasing or iconography on banknotes and coins, a powerful way to remind citizens that religion is a big part of their lives and effectively part of the state. This can cause offense among those who demand separation of church and state. Okay, we're going to put that up to max. We should have crucifixes on all the money. Okay, I'm going to have to repeal the junk food tax, I think. People are just really bitching about it. And it's making food too expensive for people to support, so... Okay, people are angry about the policy reversal, squatters' rights. I'm going to go with evict squatters. Oh, antisocial behavior is no longer a major problem. Okay, so we're facing a food crisis, so I'll have to deal with that. I can make speeches for the campaign. So let's see, who do I want to please? Probably capitalists. I can do a speech that to please religious, who's my core base, and they're the largest proportion of the population. So I'm gonna do a speech to please religious voters. Okay. Improve tenancy rights. Okay, I'm going to go with improving tenancy rights. Campaign speeches available. We have a small budget surplus. Okay. That was easy to do. I mean, I've implemented a lot of policies to pander to religious voters. Also, because I did stuff like faith school subsidies. You know what? I'll upgrade that to maximum to try to increase their proportion of the population because they're my main support base. Once turn 2 starts, the real fashy shit is going to start. Let's see here. I'm going to have to temporarily increase food stamps because we're having a food crisis. Okay, the food crisis has been fixed. My credit rating got downgraded for God knows what reason. Okay, I'm able to make a manifesto. Let's see here. Honestly, I don't need to do any kind of manifesto. So I'm just going to go into the election without anything special. Okay, here we go. So the Democrats have way more money, well, have substantially more money than I do. But let's see who wins when the polls are counted. Okay, majority with 85% of the vote. Okay, so under my regime, lifespan and health have increased, crime and immigration have declined, the environment's gotten a lot better, people are healthier. Um, Let me see. Has anything bad happened? The country's become less equal. There's no gender equality. Uh, nope, not much has really gone worse, to be honest. Okay, the cabinet is going to be maintained. All right, so we have another 4 years. So 4 more years means that I can go all out now. Okay, okay, law and order. Ban homosexuality. According to many religious texts, homosexuality is a sin. In order to combat this, banning homosexuality might convince many sinners to get their lives back on track and follow the natural order that God intended. Done. Okay, policy one. Let's see here. We're going to introduce national service. Uh, I'm going to do very minimal national service, but I think that's a good idea. Economy, let's see here. We're going to implement a ban Sunday shopping. We're going to ban Sunday shopping. I'm just going to do it light, though, not particularly onerous. It's interesting that trade unionists also like that. Okay, let's see what else do we have here. Forced political, military, religious oath. Adding religion to oaths given in public by our officials and troops will create a greater sense of honor and security to the public, giving them the feeling that we are doing is the right thing. With righteousness on our side, nothing can go wrong. Okay, for all state employees. Let's see here. Okay, well, organics farming isn't really a fashy thing, but we'll do that too. Let's see. Ban foreign church services. Misunderstandings can lead to tragedies, and nothing has caused more trouble in the past than religious conflict. The easiest way to prevent further trouble here is to ban foreign church services outright, avoiding further misunderstandings and unrest. Okay. Banned. Let's see here. Okay, recreational drugs tax. Okay, I'm going to introduce internet censorship. We're going to set it at some internet sites blocked, particularly that I want to block pornography. So that makes liberals angry, makes conservatives happy. I don't get why it makes conservatives happy and makes liberals angry. If anything, internet censorship should make conservatives unhappy and liberals happy. Okay, we're going to introduce, where's media censorship? Let's see. There we go. General media censorship. There are times when an outraged public is counterproductive to the well-being of a democracy. Enabling greater media censorship can limit bad rumors and speculation from spiraling out of control. And while it limits civil rights, less violence and fear might be worth the effort. We do not wish to give anti-social extremists the fair use for media to create unrest. Woke. Okay. There we go. Streamer offers birthday song. Okay, so the streamer's offering to sing for you on your birthday in public. She is known for her tiny dresses and adult themed songs, making her very popular among young people. So that makes the youth like me, but parents hate me. Oh, wow, I have a big surplus now. I need to do something about obesity. I can't. I've tried to do things about obesity. I can't. The American, the American people were okay with me banning mosques. They were okay with me having mandatory school prayer, but they rose up when I introduced a junk food tax. That was where it really went. State religion. A country can specify a specific religion as the official religion for the state, even if it still permits atheism and the worship of other religions. At least this involves some ceremony. This is America, so Christianity is going to be the state religion with no denomination specified. Let's see here. Oh, okay. We're going to introduce racial profiling too. I can't believe I hadn't done that already. No, this is Democracy 4. It looks exactly the same. Let's see here. Okay, I'm also going to introduce right to privacy as more of our lives are led online and tracking everyone's actions and movements becomes easier. Some people argue that the right to privacy, both from government and corporations, is essential. I do actually believe fairly strongly in right of privacy. So maybe this will seem like counterintuitive to everything else I'm doing, but it is something that I believe in. Public services. Yeah, I'll introduce eye tests. Why not? Yeah, some of these policies, there's like no real reason to not introduce them. I guess when you're playing with political capital, it's significantly harder to do this. Consumer rights, maternity leave, small business grants, public services. Okay, we'll introduce parenting classes. There's some like pause stuff you can put in. Like, where's family planning? Oh, technology grants. Okay, I have money, so I'll do technology grants too. Cool. Let's see here. Proportionate fines. I'm not going to introduce drones because I don't support drones. Gambling is extremely socially destructive. I hadn't introduced drug enforcement yet. This is the United States. The United States should have the DEA. I don't really get why that's the case. Let's see here. Taxes, capital gains, CO2. I could introduce carbon taxing. There's not really a need at the moment. I'm doing a lot of other environmental policies. Maybe I'll just let things run for a little bit. Implement childcare provision. I could introduce like mild childcare. By giving subsidies for childcare, we can ensure more parents return to the workforce after having children. Although this can be expensive and is a distortion of the market, it's popular among parents. I guess I'll introduce maybe low childcare subsidies. social stupidity. Eating sachets of laundry detergent, children could be forgiven for consuming the sweet like soap pods, but this dangerous activity has gone viral amongst teenagers as social media users challenge one another to chew on the poison. That our youth could act so irresponsibly is a national embarrassment. Okay. Okay, I have enough of a surplus. I'm going to cut personal and I'm going to cut taxes somewhat. DNA database, criminals only. Okay, budget report. Well, that eliminated my surplus, but at least people are paying less taxes now. Okay, so let's look at what the coalition is. The coalition is nationalists, religious, conservatives, socialists, environmentalists, and state employees. It's literally like an organic coalition. The people who don't like me are young people, minorities, and liberals. Yep, I'm against gig employment, so gig economy jobs are going to be considered disguised employment. Implement married tax allowance. Let me see how much. Married tax allowance is too expensive, though. Okay, let's see. Let me see what's happened with the country since I've been doing this. Also, let me see. Okay, cabinet ministers. Okay, political compass. Okay, if I'm not a Donald Trump tier and I've like banned homosexuality and Islam and made Christianity the state religion and introduced school prayer, how the fuck is Donald Trump that high? How is that even possible? Changes. Okay, focus groups. All right. Women's March. Women have flooded the Capitol to march in protest against gender inequality. Let's see here. We have a small surplus. So maybe just look at some of the specific things. So GDP is actually pretty high. I think a lot of that. Let me see here. I'm not really sure what it is that's contributing to high GDP. I think because I have very high productivity. Let's see. CO2 emissions are actually very low. The only real contributor to CO2 emissions is that the economy is just very big, and I haven't banned or restricted air travel. Let's see. Inflation's not that big a deal. I do have a private space industry at the moment, which is kind of cool. A huge technological advantage. So technology increases productivity and GDP growth. Uh, Agricultural subsidies, I'm just going to leave as is. Internet speed is very high. Let's see, productivity. Right, because I did so much to reduce drug usage and alcohol consumption. Let's see. We still have a skill shortage. Average temperature. Um, oh, right, now I remember what I've been wanting to implement. Okay. It's time to implement government support for students. Is that under public service? Adult education subsidies. Adult education subsidies are a way to encourage people to retrain and continue their education after they have joined the workforce. Okay. All right, we're going to maximize that, and that's going to help deal with the skill shortage. Always prefer to have to try to find local, develop national talent rather than bring in immigrants. Microgeneration grants. Yep, I'll introduce that. Anything to reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Police drones, proportionate fines, prisoner voting. I'm going to introduce torture for serious threats. I'm just trying to find where is student aid? Is that under welfare? Or is that under economy? Mars program, oil drilling, small business research grants. Okay, I got rid of the gig economy. I maintain a small surplus. Okay, I'm heading towards a doctor's strike, though. Okay, public services. Retired liberal, capitalist farmers, commuter environmentalist. Yeah, that sounds good. I might increase the gas tax, actually, as a way of discouraging car usage. Also, I feel like I should try to pay off my debt the national debt at some point. At least make a sort of effort at it. Let me see if there's any more revenue tools I can introduce. I mean, I guess I could cut spending, but who wants to cut spending? Graduate tax. Entrepreneurial investment scheme. I could tax cryptocurrency. Carbon tax. I could bring back the capital gains tax. Uh, I might bring back the capital gains tax and just keep it at a very low amount. And that money will be earmarked for paying extreme nationalism. With a rise in patriotic feelings across the country, extremists have begun to publicly blame foreigners and ethnic minorities for these problems, demanding jobs for people who have been living in our country for generations first. Lacking hope in education, many people have begun to believe in these extremists, causing increased violence and racial tension. Okay. Oh, there we go. University grants. I've been trying to find where university grants are. Okay. Yep. I'm going to introduce university grants for students. I've been looking for that one. So that helps to increase youth income, that increases education, and decreases the skill shortage. Perfect. All right. Expand right of way. Suggest implementing detention without trial. Detention without trial. I guess I'll just put it at 72 hours. No, I don't really support detention without trial, so I'm just going to leave it. If she wants to resign over that, she can resign over that. But I don't want to introduce detention without trial. Uh, I don't know. The obesity is just not going to work. The problem with obesity is the country's just really wealthy. So there's not really a lot that yeah, obesity is just super high. Unless I want to make America poor, there's not a lot I can do. I'm so popular now I can do whatever I want. So I'm going to introduce healthy food subsidies. And I'm going to bring back the junk food tax. Which is probably going to cause a revolution, but I don't care. Whistleblower. Yep, I'm going to listen to the whistleblower and crack down on corruption. Okay, I have a large surplus. Well, somewhat of a surplus. Okay, so my debt to GDP ratio has actually gone down quite a bit. Uh, I believe that's because my actual debt has stayed pretty static, but the economy's grown quite a bit. So okay, there's a water shortage. That's not good. What's leading to it? Environmental problems. I thought that I did a potentially bad solution. Why do I have pollution? Oh, because my GDP is so high. That's funny that I'm facing a lot of these problems despite huge. Wait a minute. Why is there a budget deficit? Tax minister. Okay, so it looks like I have a spending problem. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cut spending somewhere. So I'm spending too much on just random shit. Okay, so where can we cut? Uh, clean fuel subsidy. I guess I could just reduce spending on some of these. The problem is a lot of these things are just so low. Anyways, I doubt it's going to really do much to the overall budget. Let's leave driverless car laws. What's that? General media censorship. Oh, gated communities. Oh, well, I want to encourage gated communities more. Body cameras. I'll increase the junk food tax. That'll help. I need to cut spending. So let me see. What am I spending money on? Expenditure, state schools, military spending, debt interest, state health services, state pensions. Yeah, the problem is I'm spending it on such a broad range of stuff. I don't really want to cut military spending any further. Uh, this is a tricky one. I'm not really sure where to cut. I don't really want to raise taxes again. Although I had cut taxes by quite a bit. Um, hmm. I'll put capital gains back up to 10% maybe. Okay, let's see here. Budget deficit. Yeah, we still have a huge deficit. Campaign speeches available. High productivity. Okay, I think I'll reduce some of my economic investments because I don't really want to raise taxes any further. So, okay, agricultural. I'll reduce that somewhat. Slightly reduce space funding. Somewhat cut adult education subsidies. I don't really want to touch reforestation. Um, I'll cut faith schooling down to high. Technology colleges, I'll just cut down to high. Oh, that should be on max. I don't know why that isn't on max. I don't want to touch healthcare spending. Don't want to touch that. Oh, free school meals. Why are we giving school meals? We're going to scrap that. Political military oath. Okay, I'm going to cut the size of the intelligence agency because we don't need more government surveillance. Oh, I can't believe I haven't done this yet. Fuck judicial independence. We're going to reduce that to low. Let's see here. Oh, I hadn't. Oh, wow. This is a disgrace. I hadn't defunded Planned Parenthood. Wow. Okay, there we go. Planned Parenthood is officially defunded. Let's see here. Let me see what else I can cut. Yeah, I don't want to cut back on nuclear power. Don't want to cut back on rare earth mining. What's that? Okay, we're going to keep that. Clean energy subsidies. I don't really want to cut back on that either. So let's see if that did enough to help. There's still a huge budget deficit. Okay, I'm going to have to raise taxes, which I really don't want to do, but it is what it is, I guess. Nothing I can really do about it. Increase recreational drug tax. I'll lower that somewhat. Oh, the corporate taxes are really low. Okay, I'll raise corporate taxes. That'll help pay for that. I'll increase taxes on companies that go overseas. Really don't like property taxes, but increase cigarette tax somewhat. They want me to introduce religious tax. Who is this donor? Sarah Patel. Fuck you, Sarah. We're not taxing religions. Corporate medical marking. I want to introduce regulations. Campaign speeches are available. Okay, so I'm down to a minor budget deficit. Let me see if there's any other revenue tools I can introduce. Financial transaction tax. Internet tax. I could introduce an automation tax. You know what? We'll do that. We will introduce an automation tax. A relatively low one on people who replace workers with robots. And then I will also, let's see, what else do we have here? I could do financial transaction taxes. That would reduce GDP slightly. Luxury goods tax. I don't know, people in the chat, what should I introduce? What kind of taxation should I introduce to help pay for my Rube Goldberg esque government largesse internet tax? I'll put in a plastic bag tax just as a fuck you. Oh, I'm only allowed to serve for 2 terms because I forgot to get rid of term limits? Fuck. Well, that's kind of lame. But we did make America great again. And we did legalize memes. Let's see here. Oh, because of how the fucking autosave works in this game, I can't... There's not even an option to go back. Okay, so I guess let's take a look at how the country went over time. So we saw increase the lifespan, decreases in crime, massive decreases in equality, huge increases to technological development, and that sort of thing. So I think overall things went pretty damn good. I forgot to get rid of term limits though, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do, but I digress. So I guess that's probably about a logical place to end. I hope you guys enjoyed that stream.